assassin, truth stay shining. Busting on you wizards so the truth stay climbing. Conservative assassin, truth stay shining. Busting on you wizards so the truth stay climbing. Conservative assassin, truth stay shining. Busting on you wizards so the truth stay climbing. Conservative assassin, truth stay shining. Busting on you wizards so the truth stay climbing.
Hello, everybody. Welcome in again. We are on the second day of our quadruple header, where we'll be streaming live every night through Sunday night. And so if you're there, say what's up to me. So I know you're there. And of course, appreciate all the support. Appreciate everybody who tunes into the broadcast, likes and shares, so on and so forth. And so I got to give shouts out, Russell fam, Big Bear G1 fam, Joe, Caffeinated Assassin, Cross Culture, Cross Lower T Culture. Check them out, all legends. And so put the word out for me. I'm on restricted access with Facebook, apparently. So they might be ghosting me. So I'm going to need your guys' help to get the video out and invite people to participate. And so that's how we're going to do it. So, of course, we're going to continue to drop a ton of content. Christ-servative memes. Got 2 new memes that I'll share with you tonight. Christ-servative verses coming soon, and Christ-servative animation, of course. Like, share, subscribe. It helps a lot when you like the Facebook page and invite other people to like it, if you can. So tonight, we're going to be talking about, let's see, where's it at? Oh, there it is. All right. The religion of science, blind hypocrites in white coats peddling crap. Now, of course, I put this event invitation out, I don't know, a week ago, and the trolls have been out in full force. You know, the biggest crybabies of all, the evolutionists, the Darwinians, the atheists, they've been out in full force trolling. Nobody wants to argue. They just want to troll, talk crap, but you're not pulling me under your bridge, sucker. So that's what we're talking about tonight, the religion of science. And let's start out like this, and then I'll share some memes with you guys. See if we can do this. Hi, I'm Neil the Shield deGrasse Tyson. Prepare to have your mind blown. Because I'm a puppet and a shill that spews BS on TV, they give me money. So now I can rape women and get away with it. I'm Neil the Shield deGrasse Tyson. Anyways, so let me show you. I got a meme. The brother, let's look up. We got some comments. Hey, what's up, y'all? Appreciate you guys tuning in. Let me get back over here. Hold on. We're going to do this. We're going to crush now. Oh, by the way, the live streams are going to be epic, and we're going to crush. So that's what we're going to do. So check this meme out. Brother Joe, the Caffeinated Assassin, put it together for me, and it is already an instant classic. It says, hi, I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson, and I rape women. And because it cannot be empirically verified like the rest of my BS, I get away with it. I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson. There you go. There's your front-running atheist scientist. Anyways, let me show you another one here. Let's see here. Yeah, let's do this. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna get into the content in a minute, so just sit tight. We're gonna crush. That's what we're gonna do. So here we go. Hi, I'm Bill Nye the Liar Guy, the world's foremost fake scientist. Because I wear a white coat and spew nonsense, you have to believe me. Bill Nye the Liar Guy. Bill Nye the retard. We got to get a meme for him, too. I got another one for you right here. So let me show you this. Share screen. All right. So I put this together earlier today. And, oops, wrong button. Hold on, guys. Okay, let's put it back up. So here we go. Hi, I'm Sam Harris. Have you seen my gigantic ears? I am the missing link. My gigantic ears are proof that evolution is true. And I say, no, Sam, you are a retard. Anyway, so I got the meme for that one. Let me show you this real quick. Of course, brother Joe put this together in meme status. Let's hit this. Oh, hold on. Application. Hi, I'm Sam Harris, and I'm the missing link. There you go. Can you see the cannula? I mean, if that doesn't persuade you to believe in evolution, nothing will. I mean, he's basically a monkey. Anyway, so I don't have a lot of time tonight because I'm taking my wifey out on a date. We're going out on the town, dropping the kids off at grandma's house, and I got a hot date. So I'm checking out of this thing real soon. And so my aim tonight is simply to demonstrate the religious character of science. Now I'm not going to waste your time by going to the comment feed. I got, I don't know, 20 something comments on the event and a bunch of reactions. Some good from people that agree, and mostly trolls. But anyways, what I want to do is I want to demonstrate the religious character of science. And of course, the haters are going to say, well, how ironic. And by the way, this was on the message feed. They'll say, how ironic that Christians talk like that. How ironic when they talk about, science being religion. How ironic. I mean, this sounds like some Christian indoctrination nonsense that we left behind in the infantile Santa Claus and Tooth Fairy land. Bro, you believe in evolution. You believe in something came from nothing. You believe that life came from non-life and all the other retarded stuff. Sucker, you believe in Santa Claus, not me. I believe in Jesus Christ, a real, literal, and living savior, and you are a retard. Anyways, maybe I need to work on my evangelistic skills a little bit. What's up, Teresa, Joe, wifey? What's up, y'all? So anyways, the logic behind this is that if you cannot squeeze it out of some white mice in a laboratory, it must be delusion, and therefore it must be discounted. Atheism and its correlate, scientism, operates at a high level of militant arrogance. That's what these guys do. Neil deGrasse Tyson, I am so smart that I rape women. Sam Harris, I have a high IQ because I'm Jewish and I am better than you. Bill Nye, I know I'm an imposter and a fake and a phony, but I am nevertheless smarter than you are. No, you are a phony and a retard. And so this militant arrogance, if they cannot be empirically verified via experimentation under a controlled setting, it does not exist. That's the idea. Of course, philosophically, I mean, this is as pathetic as you can. It's pathetic as more than you can even imagine. How philosophically pathetic it is. And so only what you can verify counts. After all, these guys are smarter than us, and so they must rule. And we must bow down to the white coats and believe what they tell us. Not today, sucker. And so this, of course, is not just silly and naive, but it is the height of hypocrisy. The epistemological standard they set forth, their scientism and their empiricism, does not even satisfy its own criteria. Of course, they know this, hence the hypocrisy. I believe that people that actually believe this junk, they know how retarded it is. Of course, there's reasons for that, and we might talk about some of those tonight. But don't misunderstand me. I believe in the procedures of empirical science, and as a Christian, I believe that the Christian worldview provides both the impetus and the rational foundations that motivate and undergird scientific investigation. In fact, science, rationality, morality only makes sense in terms of a Christian worldview. And it is the Christian worldview that provides the necessary preconditions that makes those things possible. So when people do those things, when they want to be rational and they want to be scientific, and they want to be moral, they are working in terms of a Christian worldview. Now, two things tonight, speaking of the scientific community. First of all, their scientism/empiricism dies its own death. You know, all sorts of things are assumed at the outset of their scientific, in order for their scientific methodology to proceed, which cannot be justified in terms of the false scientific worldview, the materialistic naturalism, or you can call it atheism if you want. And secondly, they do not confine themselves to empirical science, but engage in a whole host of wild speculations spun out of the web of their own carnal imagination. I mean, it gets ridiculously retarded. And so I want to tonight consider some of the things that they take solely on faith that are not demonstrable in any scientific way. First of all, Copernican heliocentrism. Not scientifically demonstrable, pure speculation, NASA false narrative propaganda. That's all it is. That's all it is. It has never been demonstrated. Copernicus was an alchemist, Satanist, and I know that I've read Christian works where they want to jam Copernicus in as some sort of a Christian because he came from some sort of a Catholic context, but it's nonsense. Copernicus was a Satanist. It's so retarded. I mean, we sit here and we say, okay, we see the sun rise and go down, just like the Bible says, by the way. And then we stand here and we say, no, the sun's not moving. Actually, we're the ones that's moving. And so we say, what our cognitive faculties and our senses are telling us is completely wrong. And by the way, all of the empirical data in science disproves heliocentrism and the globe earth model and all the rest of the NASA nonsense. I mean, anybody with one good, honest eyeball can see that, know that. They won't admit it because they're retarded. And so it'd be kind of like if I saw a bird fly over my head and I said, well, saw the bird fly over, but I'm sitting still. But you know what? I think it's the other way around. I think the bird is still and I'm the one that's moving. That's how retarded it is. And so anyways, we're talking about things that are not scientifically demonstrable, that are taken on as faith-based commitments within the scientific community. What about Big Bang cosmology? Pure speculation, totally retarded, impossible to empirically substantiate it at all. No scientific methodology can corroborate it. It's pure retarded speculation. How about Darwinian evolution or neo-Darwinian evolution? Absolutely never been observed or proven. Just retarded speculation. That's all it is. No evidence at all. What's up, Sister Vic? I see you. What about gravity? Just because things fall to the ground in no way scientifically demonstrates the existence of something called gravity. Many renowned scientists and even many in the scientific community now do not believe in gravity. It cannot be demonstrated. It cannot be empirically verified. Just because you drop something to the ground does not substantiate or scientifically corroborate or verify that gravity is actually a thing. What about black holes? Black holes are mathematically inferred to exist based on the surrounding area around the theoretical black hole. That is retarded. What they do is they postulate a theory of a black hole, and then they speculate about what the area must be like around the black hole, and then they devise mathematical equations based upon that area to support the existence of the black hole. That's what you call circular retardation and insanity. And so it's like this. Let me pull Neil the Shield rapist Tyson back up here. So, hi, I'm Neil the Shield deGrasse Tyson. I make stuff up and devise mathematical equations based on what I made up in order to prove what I just made up. Yes, I am a rapist and a lunatic. Give me money, please. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Retarded. And so that's what they do. They make stuff up, and then based on their pseudo mathematics that is based upon what they just made up, they then corroborate what they just made up based on what they just made up. You know why that sounds so retarded? Because it is. That's how retarded it is. I'm going to make up a black hole, and then I'm going to imagine what it must be like around the black hole, and then I'm going to formulate a mathematical equation based on that made up area to confirm the existence of that which I just made up. Retarded. That's what these guys do. And people give them money to do it. Why? Because they're in the business of eradicating biblical creationism and replacing it with stupidity. It's stupid. All right. And so then what they do is when they can't get their mathematical equations to jive with what they spun out of their imagination, they just keep spinning more stuff out of their imagination, like dark matter, pure speculation, and retarded. That's all it is. It's just another postulate to try to corroborate a mathematical equation that is based on imagination. Same thing with antimatter, pure speculation, retarded, dark energy, pure speculation and retarded, interdimensional fields and energies like string theory and superstring theory, pure speculation, purely retarded. If you believe that, you are a moron. Anyways. So, if you believe that, you're like this guy right here. You believe that? Hi, I'm Bill Nye, the liar guy, and I'm a con man. Please believe me so they will give me money. Please believe what I tell you so they will give me money. Enter in the promotion code BS. That's B as in bull and S as in shenanigans. So I can buy a shiny new white coat and play pretend with all of my gay friends. Retarded. So, are there any more things that science takes solely on faith? Things that are not demonstrable in any scientific way? I could go on all night, son. You know, the scientific community, the bozos, the atheist, naturalist, materialist crowd. We're like, oh, we only believe in evidence. No, you believe in a bunch of nonsense. It's true. You just as well get honest with it and admit it, sir. You believe in black holes. Nonsense. You believe in quantum particles. Nonsense. You believe in string theory. You know, all this quantum junk is, all it is just a bunch of postulated nonsense to try to come up with some sort of workable theory to explain origins. That's all it is, where the quote unquote universe came from. And so what about atoms? They've never been directly observed, ever. Ever. No atom has ever been directly observed by the human eye. What about the mind and consciousness? What about thought and emotions? Never been observed, only the brain. And yet scientists talk about the mind and consciousness all the time, constantly, and then they want to fall back and do so under the guise of neuroscience and engage in all kinds of speculation and unfounded reductionism. But it's all nonsense. It cannot be empirically verified at all. I mean, if you read the works of these guys, what it is it's science fiction. That's all it is. Just total science fiction. And by the way, let me bring this up real quick because next Friday, I'm going to tack on to what we're talking about tonight. And since I brought up science fiction, I will share. So it's going to be episode 11. next Friday night, science, Luciferian occultism, science and science fiction, the massive heist of the collective consciousness. So we're just going to extend our conversation tonight, next Friday night. And so, how about the entire universe that allegedly exists outside the firmament of the earth? All NASA fake narrative and propaganda. It has never been observed. All you got is computer simulated graphic art NASA nonsense. And I know you guys are going to be out there, oh my gosh, he doesn't believe in black holes and he doesn't believe in the galaxies and he blah, 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 blah. You believe it on faith, sir. It's a religious commitment because you will not bow a knee to Jesus Christ. That's all it is. That's all it is. Just a replacement, just a psychopathic replacement for biblical creationism. I see people just keep checking in and out. I know what they do. They sit back and roll their eyes like Neil deGrasse Tyson. Well, I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson, and if you're a Christian, that means that you are stupid. No, Neil deGrasse Tyson, you're stupid and a rapist. And because you're a bought and paid for shill, you've gotten away with it. But your day's coming, sir. And by the way, I want my bike back. Anyways, how about the assumption that science already understands the nature of reality and just needs to fill in the details? Nonsense. Cannot be demonstrated. That's what they do. They get on TV on the History Channel. They say, well, we understand everything. We're just filling in the details. And because we're smart and you're not, we rule and you must bow to us. No, not going to do it. And so how about the assumption that the laws of nature are fixed physical constants? Cannot be demonstrated. How about the assumption that nature is purposeless and blind and random? Can't be demonstrated. And by the way, that's what your retarded unbelief is reduced to. Just absolute meaninglessness, no purpose, falling into existential despair and nihilism. That's it. How about the assumption that mind and consciousness can be reduced to the brain? Can't be demonstrated. And by the way, when they speak of consciousness and mind, they're constantly tripping over themselves because they do so in terms that are outside of physiology and biology all the time. How about the assumption that the space-time continuum cannot be influenced by a transcendent realm? Cannot be demonstrated at all. How about the assumption that contemporary scientific models of the universe are even remotely accurate? This cannot be demonstrated. It's retarded. Quantum physics, retarded. All of these wild speculations, retarded. What about the assumption of the unquestionable authority of science itself? You just proceed under the assumption that you're right and everybody else is wrong. Scientists indulge all the time in use of arcane, obtuse, overly complex, nonsensical, vague, and nebulous rhetoric. They just go on and on and on, want to talk over people's heads. They want to just do all their intellectual, slicked up stuff. But I'm not falling for it. And they do so in order to lay claims to superiority over all others who attempt to challenge their faith-based, and religiously committed and unproven theories. Yes, sir. So here we got Sam Harris. Hi, I'm Sam Harris. And because I have insanely large ears, this proves my superior intelligence. Sam Harris. That's how they treat people. So are there more things that science takes solely on faith? Things that cannot be demonstrated in any scientific way or by any scientific methodology or procedure? Well, I'm glad you asked. What about the assumption of the existence of the external objective world? Cannot be demonstrated or rationally justified according to any empirical science. These things, the only rational justification for any of these things that I'm going to mention is the Christian worldview, son. And that's why your worldview reduces to nonsense. And when you want to be a person of science and a person of intelligence and a person of moral character and a person of reason, you are working in terms of my worldview. So quit stealing, sucker. All right. What about the assumption of the objective reality of the quote-unquote universe? What about the assumption of the inherent order of logic? What about the assumption of the uniformity of nature? What about the assumption of the regularity of nature? What about the assumption of the basic reliability of human cognitive faculties and sensory organs? What about the assumption of the existence of truth? What about the assumption of truth as being knowable? What about the assumption of the laws of logic themselves? None of these things can be empirically verified. So there you have it. So in essence, science wholly depends upon unproven assumptions, which places it firmly in the category of materialistic theism, to coin the term. Apostate theism. That's what you are, an apostate theist. Their underpinnings are faith-based commitments, and their speculation have the character of a religious commitment, not demonstrable by any empirical procedure. So they are the blind, leading the blind down the dark corridor of materialistic naturalism, where blatant lies and outrageous speculation and occult myths are passed on as truth and facts. So again, next Friday, we're going to piggyback on this, and we're going to talk about science and Luciferian occultism. Mr. Atheist guy, you say, well, I don't believe in spirits, and I don't believe in Santa Claus, and I don't believe in the devil. Well, maybe not. But guess what? The scientific worldview, the naturalistic worldview, was carefully constructed and socially engineered so that it can be inculcated into your mind to believe a lie. Atheism is satanic, whether wittingly or unwittingly. And so it's going to be the massive heist of the collective consciousness. And so 1 Timothy 6:20, keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoid profane and vain babblings and oppositions of science falsely called. Contemporary science is a fraud predicated on faith-based assumptions. In other words, bald-faced lies in order to generate a worldview they can dominate. It is a control gambit and nothing more. It is treasonous in terms of accountability. These guys just spin off all these wild speculation and imagination, and nobody holds them accountable. And somebody needs to stand up and say, bro, you're a retard. Sam Harris, you are a retard, sir. So, contemporary scientists are not held accountable for their insanely false theories, for their blind and wild assumptions, for their speculations about reality, or their rapes. Neil deGrasse Tyson. So, let me show you this. Hi, I'm Richard Dawkins, and I'm an intellectual criminal that gets paid to make stuff up. And if you don't agree with my nonsense, I will exercise my intellectual contempt for you, sir. I am Richard Dawkins. That's what those guys do. They say, well, if you don't believe the bull crap that we're telling you, that's because you're a loser. And by the way, for the most part, I don't want to overgeneralize, but for the most part, that's what the atheistic community is like. Oh, you believe in God, you're such a loser. I mean, I just put one little event up and got all the trolls coming out in just droves. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, you're calling science a religious, faith-based commitment? You believe in Jesus? You're such a loser. No. Soon and very soon, you and everybody else will see who the retard is. And so, as I said at the beginning, I believe in the procedures of empirical science. And as a Christian, I believe that the Christian worldview provides both the impetus and the motivation. The impetus that motivates and the foundation that undergirds scientific methodology. And so, I do not dismiss the achievements of Western science. They're among the treasures of the human race, and exercise and taking dominion over the creation are God-given tasks, but they do nothing to answer the fundamental questions, and they fail to offer a coherent description of the cosmos or the methods by which it might be investigated. So how about some embarrassing questions? Has anyone ever scientifically demonstrated the non-existence of God? Nope. Has cosmology or quantum cosmology explained the emergence of the universe or why it is here? Nope. Has science explained the universe and how it seems to be fine-tuned for life to exist? Nope. Mm-mm. Are physicists and biologists willing to believe in anything as long as it is not the Bible? Yeah. Nailed it. They will believe any stupid thing as long as it's not the Word of God. You get Richard Dawkins talking about, well, the information in the DNA molecule, an interesting theory is that there was an advanced species somewhere in the universe that evolved in some Darwinian fashion, and they came here on a flying saucer, and they planted the information, they planted the DNA molecule. What? Retarded. Believe anything, as long as it's not the Bible. Is there a very narrow orthodoxy of religiously held thought and opinion in the scientific community? Yep. Nailed it. Batting 1,000. Yep. You fit in their box or they ostracize you. You're done. You're out of the scientific community. You're out of the academic community. If you don't buy what they're selling, they will ostracize you and try to socially shame you. But I don't care about that. Anyways. Has science ever demonstrated that Christianity or Christian commitment is irrational? Nope. Of course, the atheist guy will jump and say, oh, yes, we have. No, you haven't, retard. All you did is troll. All you did is try to pull people under your disgusting bridge because you're not allowed to walk across until you get truthful and give up your lies. It's a wonderful thing. Instead of exchanging the truth of God for a lie, why don't you forsake the lie and embrace the truth of God, and then you can come up from underneath your mildew, slime, rotten, infested bridge where you try to pull people under with your trolling and retarded nonsense. Is scientific atheism, or we can call it theism, because of its religiously idolatrous, goddish commitment, a frivolous exercise in intellectual contempt? Yes, it is. That's what they do. They stand around and heap contempt. So, right back at you, son. Right back at you, son. I'm just a jester, that's all. I'm just trying to have fun and communicate the truth in a fun way. You know, the jester wins, the troll loses. That's that. And so, contemporary science is a racket. Pseudoscientists invoke the magical, mystical origins of the universe out of nothing. Oh, yeah. Wasn't that wonderful? They do it all the time. You know, a free miracle. They won't believe the Bible, but oh, yeah, everything came from nothing. Now, I'm not going to give you a free pass on that. With your mystical, magical, miracle imagination of origins. Nah, you're not getting a freebie, son. But if you even insinuate that a creative divine intelligence is behind the quote-unquote universe, suddenly you're a hocus-pocus theist. Oh, you believe in Santa Claus. You believe in the Tooth Fairy. You believe in hocus pocus. Bro, you believe something came from nothing. And you want to heap intellectual contempt on me? Let's stack our chips up, son. And I think it'll be clear who the retard is. You don't have an argument. What, that something came from nothing and then chemical processes and then, spontaneous generation, and the next thing you know, the cells started humping each other, and then we get fish, and then we just humped and screwed our way all the way up into monkeys, and then we kept humping, and the next you know, you get a man. So retarded. And I'm the hocus pocus, insane Christian theist. Contemporary science is a fraud. It's a sham. All things in physics have a cause except time and space, according to their generic, fake, preposterous, speculative, drummed up, imaginative worldview. Please. Please. And their abortion of logic here destroys their entire fundamental framework. You got nothing, sir. And of course, the trolls are going to continue to pile up. They'll pile up and they'll pile up. They never say nothing of any substance at all. Just trolling. So, contemporary science is consumed with a whole host of faith-based, religiously held beliefs in a myriad of unobservable and unprovable things. That's right. Oh, we only believe in facts and evidence. No, you don't. You believe in black holes. Oh, no, we only believe in objective things that can be objectively verified through scientific methodology. No, you don't. You have all kinds of religiously held beliefs. Your religion is scientific atheism, whatever you want to call it. But what you're doing is you're worshiping and serving the creature rather than the creator. And so, contemporary science has done everything in its power to sanitize the emotional structure of the world and strip away any suggestion of what the Bible says is true. And by the way, this don't shock me, because the Bible tells me that's exactly what you've always done and exactly what you will continue to do. as long as you are under the dominion of your unbelief. So, contemporary science is ruthless, arrogant, and ignorant fascism. That's what it is. Straight up. You don't drink their Kool-Aid, you're done. You don't buy what they're selling, you're done. It's a fascist, ignorant, arrogant, and ruthless religion is what it is. So, scientists merely seek to control reality and the masses' perception of reality, marginalizing all opposing views and funneling all consciousness into a materialistic, atheistic perspective. They shape reality to fit their biases, nothing more, and then they call it, you guessed it, science. And it's retarded. And the truth is, most scientists are brainwashed, hypocrites that speak out of both sides of their mouth while they prance around thinking that they have been just so enlightened because they have done away with all the spiritual implications of life. This is what they do. Oh, quantum theory and black holes and, all of this stuff that is not observable. And then out of the other side of the mouth, they say, oh, you believe in Jesus? You're dumb. So they have not done away with all the spiritual implications of life. In fact, they have no idea at all. They just sit around and play the Shieldbot guessing game. I'm just going to believe what I'm told, and I'm just going to teach what I'm told. Evolution is retarded. Quantum theory is retarded. Black holes are retarded. And you don't have no idea. You don't have any insight into the ultimate constituents of reality till you open up the Bible and read what God said. Contemporary science is a socially engineered and religious indoctrination of the world to hate Christianity. That's all it is. For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness, because that which may be known of God is manifest in them, for God has showed it to them. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. Because that when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools, and changed the glory of the incorruptible God into an image made like a corruptible man, and to birds and four-footed beasts and creeping things. Wherefore God also gave them up to uncleanliness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves, who changed the truth of God into a lie, and worshipped and served the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Like and share. Help get the word out. Let's break some spells, bust some wizards, crack some trolls. The truth is going to march on. Christ, servative assassin, Soli Deo Gloria. We out.
It's conservative assassin, truth stay shining, busting on you wizards so the truth stay climbing. Conservative assassin, truth stay shining, busting on you wizards so the truth stay climbing. Conservative assassin, truth stay shining, busting on you wizards so the truth stay climbing. Conservative assassin, truth stay shining, busting on you wizards so the truth stay climbing.